What's going on, my crew? This is Rusty, and welcome to another episode of Rusty Builds. Excuse me. Great way to begin the episode. In today's episode, wanted to show you guys right off the bat the new storage system that I've been working on and creating here. We've been kind of lulled since the dragon fight, and in this episode wanted to mostly talk about the future and how things are going. So one of the things that really inspires me to build, but also inspires me to get things better, is to have things a little bit more organized. So I'm really excited to get some of these blocks that are more building based in an organized fashion. So I'm just starting to cut out some of this area. I need to repair my Silk Touch pickaxe because it's pretty much dead. So I might spend some AFK fishing trying to find a mending book. But if you can hear that those silverfish, they are really not happy. So quickly, one thing we never got to talk about because of the you know what, is there a bed in there? I think I moved my bed all the way out here. One thing we never got to talk about because it came and went while I was taking a break is the Minecon update. So it looks like we're going to be getting peaks on our mountains, which I tried to create up there, and we're going to talk about in a bit. I think we've got a skeleton up here. No? Okay. So they're going to be adding peaks to mountaintops and actually redoing the mountains in general, which could be some really awesome stuff. Meanwhile, I've been trying to, landscape this area. I built a little peak here, and one thing I'm going to do, I'm probably going to leave that up there until I get the motivation to cut it down, but one thing that really is something I thought about doing, and I think I even mentioned it on one of the episodes, was maybe do a map reset. But we just killed the Ender Dragon, and I'm kind of in love with this world. So I think I'm actually going to keep it the way it is and let us discover in the new areas the newer worlds, because there's a bunch of little gaps that we haven't discovered. And unlike some of the more what do you call them? Deserts and things like that. Jungle biomes, for instance, are a great instance. They're a specific biome, and unlike those, these ones are going to be pretty easy to find. So as you guys can see, on that side, it looked really good, but on this side, well, I won't say really good, it looked decent. On this side, it doesn't look nearly as good by a long shot. And that's because I overshot how tall it was going to be. And I would need to, in order to finish it, I'd need to rebuild this entire mountain. So what I figured we'd call this, even though they're called the mountain, biomes, it's just these are flat mountains. Where I live, a lot of the mountains that I live in Vermont, a lot of these mountains are pretty, they're like this. They're kind of flat at the top, not as flat as this, but they're old. They're very old. So these are just, old mountains, and every once in a while we may want to peak, but it's not going to be something that's really significant like that one is. Meanwhile, at the farmhouse, I built the first floor, and it's looking pretty good. I still need to add a couple more windows on this side, but we're gonna have this second story, and one thing that I was struggling with is how I wanted to make this roof. So there's gonna be a chimney on this side, which makes me want to peak the roof here, and then have the roof also peak here, and kind of just have like going this way and then going this way to meet in the middle here. And not totally sure. We're gonna put some dormers probably right here on this side and this side, and then I'm not sure what I want to do with this, but this is gonna end up being, actually, believe it or not, the front of the house. As much as I wanted it to be the side yard, it's really, I need to fix that. It really is the front from a point of view of coming off the road. And I wanted to check something while I was on camera with you guys, and that is if there's a raid going on over here. I did kill a bannerman, but then I drank honey, which got rid of the poison. But that makes the second. Yeah, if you look there, if you shaped that mountain just right, man, it would look so good. But the back of it looks horrid. Yeah, it doesn't look like Spencertown is in like a raid mode. And they're still here, which is good. Okay. I think we're alright. Good. Awesome. One thing I've always struggled with in Minecraft, but also in a lot of other arenas of my life, is finding, or maybe really even the proper word is striking a balance between like promising to doing things and actually, you know, doing them and getting inspired to do them. Because with any art, there's two things really. God, I wish I could like make that work, because that, I don't know, guys. I think I might try and add to make that right, because on this side it's good, on the other side not so much. Anyways, there's two aspects really to inspiration that I found I'm having a hard time with. One is the, like, just in general, you know, watching videos to get inspired. I'm having a hard time like focusing, because there's so much noise on YouTube that you can get that distracts you from like being able to actually do things. And then, you know, we need to go get our axe, because I really want to see if I can find any birch saplings and maybe cut down some birch trees, because we're going to need a lot more birch. But there's also this thing that, you know, to help you get inspired, sometimes you just need to do it. Writing is like that. You can talk about how you want to write a book all day long and get excited and be like, oh, I'm going to write this book, I'm going to write this book, and I've definitely been there. We need food, by the way. Not raw food. There we go. But then when it comes right down to it, you end up not even like you don't even begin to write the book, and it just kind of sits there as an idea in your mind. And it's definitely not easy to, you know, write a book or do any of those things. But I think we're going to go off and find a birch forest. I'm pretty sure there's one near here. But if you do begin to write, you'll get ideas that flow into your head. So I've been trying to like get some music to inspire me and try and watch some other YouTubers to inspire me. But as much as you could be inspired, you need to take action, and you need to just start building. And so one thing I've been having trouble with is doing that, is just kind of sitting down and throwing things together and making progress. And part of the reason is because, you know, I'll make progress, but then I'll start to like use up all the materials, and then from there, like, it gets kind of disheartening because you've just used a bunch of materials and now you need to go out and look for more, and that's where a lot of automated farms come in. But like for me, I some of the larger automated farms just seem so large, they're just too overwhelming. So there's just a lot of things and aspects to it. Even like, as much as I agree that like taking breaks is a good idea, and I hear a lot of like long-standing YouTubers talk about, okay, well, you need to take a break every once in a while. I find for me, if I take a break for too long and I don't have things prepared around that break, then I end up getting like really, really uninspired. And so I end up like basically having the opposite effect, where I don't come back refreshed and excited to get back into it. I feel kind of like I want another vacation, I want to do, you know, less, I want to whatever. And for me, what I've really wanted to focus on, besides obviously creating videos on YouTube, is just doing something consistent with my life. I don't think I've really talked about this yet on the channel, but I think we might just plop down here and start cutting down some of these birch trees, because I don't think I'm going to find a birch forest anytime soon. And this is a pretty good mix. We could cut down some of those pine trees as well. Yeah, this is a good place, Annie. But yeah, like, I really wanted this channel to just be able to have something consistent that I do, and something that I can be proud of and share with you guys. And very quickly I made it into something a little more complicated than I had initially anticipated, by adding other things and trying to simplify what I wanted to do. I ended up making it more complicated, and I'm an obsessive person, so I ended up getting a little more obsessed with, you know, the idea of creating an audience and really trying to like give it my all right off the bat, which is good, except for the fact that, you know, you create a precedent, you get a whole bunch of people watching your videos and they really like them, and then something happens and you're not really prepared, and slowly you start to descend into kind of a place where you're trying to, you know, set expectations for yourself that you can't meet. And that's kind of where I feel like I've been at, is setting things a little too high for myself, when the truth is this was just supposed to be a simple exercise to help me stay consistent in my life with something, treating it like kind of a responsibility, like, you know, watering a plant, but more complicated than that, and just letting it grow and see what happens to it, and not really caring if it grows into a big tree, or, you know, if it's just stays a small little sapling, and you just sort of water it every day and take care of it and all of these things, because we all have huge responsibilities in our life that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Like, if you're an adult, you know, you have to go to work and pay your bills and all these things, and they can be really challenging at times, to deal with some of the bigger issues if there's problems. You know, if you have a lot of money in your bank, the, you know, issue is remembering to pay your bills. And, you know, there's things nowadays that set you up to be successful in that, obviously, because people want their money. But if you can't pay your bills, all of a sudden paying a bill becomes very tedious and scary thing. And whenever you start getting your mail, like, you start to wonder, you know, what's the mail for? Is it going to be a debt collector, or is it going to be, you know, what is it going to be? And it's easy to shriek from those responsibilities and those types of things because, you know, you don't want to face them. You don't want to face the music. And I don't ever want, you know, this channel to be that way. I want it to just be something simple and easy that I can do. And so, you know, I don't really want to set expectations for myself, even in the event that I can do this on a more consistent basis and make my videos even better than they were. And, you know, if I can produce a good quality product, then great. And that's something that I want to do, because the other thing that I really want to focus on this channel is making consistent and good quality stuff, something that I can be proud of. And that includes the video production, that includes the one second. Okay guys, back to chopping trees. Actually, pretty much gonna wrap up this episode here. But yeah, I figured we'd talk and kind of touch base on the sort of inspirational factors that inspired me to start doing YouTube again, and how I really haven't been acting upon them and kind of you know, using and remembering them as to why I want to do this, just to have it as an exercise and staying consistent and doing something to produce good quality, and to have something that I can be proud of. So anyways guys, that is going to do it for today's episode. We're going to go back and in the next episode start working on where's my bed? In the next episode we'll start working on the actual house. So where did it go? Oh yeah, I don't have to be careful because right now I don't have fall damage. Thinking about the farmhouse. Oh, here it is. Look at all these saplings. That's beautiful. Okay. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Until then, happy mining and crafting.